Hello guys, this is Ty, aka the Flip Man. Why not flip or wholesale apartments too? This quick video obviously is going to be on wholesaling apartments and why you're not doing it. There's no problem with wholesaling apartments and houses. Why not? But before I get into that, obviously you see right here howtofliphouses.net. That'll take you to basically to all the YouTube videos here. People have been having trouble finding my channel. So I made it simple for you, where all the 100 plus videos you can get access to either on your smartphone, a tablet, a PC, or laptop, wherever you have internet access. You can access the videos from the Flip Man. You know also that if you need a coach and mentor, you can go to junkers101.com to sign up. And just on a side note, all you Game of Thrones fans out there, don't you just love that show? If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it, Game of Thrones. But on with the video. Why not flip or wholesale apartments too? Obviously, if you made it this far, you have an interest in wholesaling real estate, probably more so houses. It took me a minute to realize I basically stumbled in 2 years ago an apartment deal. Someone called on one of my We Buy Houses signs, but they had an 8-unit apartment complex. Closed that deal really quickly, and it opened my eyes to a part of the business that I really just thought was still out of my league, even though I was making money, which was very naive on my part, but that's what some of us humans do. We get comfortable and we don't want to expand, but don't let that be you. What happened to me in probably my first 5 years in the business. So your interest in wholesaling is obviously here if you're watching this video, or if you found any of my videos on YouTube or other places around the net. I actually got a call from a broker on yesterday, and I already knew this, but he somewhat reaffirmed it. It's almost like he was begging me to send them deals, because he says they have buyers nationwide and they can't get enough deals for them. Now, obviously, it still has to fit what a particular buyer's looking for, but his point is that, Ty, we know you're wholesaling. We don't have a problem with you getting paid. We just need deals. So with that being said, those opportunities are going to exist in great numbers for you also. The simple thing is that it is different than wholesaling a house in the sense that the way you go about dealing with buyers and sellers and actually finding buyers and sellers is going to be different. In actuality, even though the monies can be quite a bit larger than wholesaling houses, it'll take less marketing as far as money to find these. It'll take more just actual sitting down and putting the time into doing, which doesn't cost you anything but time. So what are some of the pros versus wholesaling apartments versus wholesaling houses? There's less competition. You don't have to, in most markets, you can just look around. There's going to be more residential properties, meaning single family houses, than multifamily in most markets. And so therefore the demand for investors is going to be a lot greater for multifamily / apartment buildings than they would be for houses. Just a simple economic supply and demand. The other great thing about one of the pros is that when you're dealing with multifamily or just commercial real estate in general, you open yourself up to dealing with buyers from all over the country. Now, you have buyers that will buy single family homes in different markets, but it just elephant to a mouse the number of multifamily buyers that and buy real buyers that'll be more interested in multifamily or commercial real estate. So whenever you get a property, a multifamily property under contract, you're automatically having the entire country that you can tap into as far as potential buyers versus maybe only being able to deal right there in your local market for a house. The other thing that that I like about multifamily is that the properties don't have to be cheap like a house does. You know, a house has to be really cheap in order for you to be able to wholesale it to a cash buyer to make your money. Whereas with the apartment complex, there's so many other factors that go into why this apartment complex or this multifamily building will be attractive, more based on not just price, but there are other factors such as income, condition, occupancy rate, the things that that will factor in more so than just price driven compared to houses. Probably the best thing about this, and this is part of what you will learn if you deal with me or however you educate yourself. Obviously, I would love for you to sign up with me and let me coach and we make some money together. But I really don't like dealing with realtors when it comes to residential or single family properties. But in the commercial world, multifamily apartment buildings world, it's a must that you deal with commercial brokers, because in a lot of cases, you're not going to be able to get directly to the owner of that property. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is through a broker. This is what they do. They have to have this network of individuals, meaning property owners, that they have to know and know how to get in contact for whatever reason. So everybody involved is investor minded, from the commercial broker, obviously the buyer, obviously you, and obviously the owner of the property. Whereas with residential, you can deal with a realtor and they have no clue about investing, wholesaling, any form of creative real estate investing. Just no clue. Probably the biggest thing that you all are here for, or you're listening to this video, or you're just interested in real estate in general, the checks are just going to dwarf. They're going to dwarf what you will on single families for the most part, no matter what market you're in. They're just going to dwarf. So it's going to be worth your time, even if it takes 2 or 3 months to close it. You know, that'll be one deal versus you may having to close 7 or 8 deals is for a single family to get the same amount of money. So imagine having 4 or 5 of those in the pipeline, and you may only do 4 or 5 in a year, but that may mean $400,000 or $500,000 later, or even more. So now, you know me, I'm going to give you the good with the bad. Now the cons, I gave you some of the pros, but here's some of the cons that when you're dealing with commercial real estate / multifamily versus single family. Reaching owners and decision makers can be a lot more difficult. Whereas with single family, it's just all about marketing to me, just advertising. You know, it takes a lot of the frustration out of business, put out banner signs, direct mail, internet, social media, and owners of single family properties will just call you. So now it's just a numbers game, you negotiating a deal. Multifamily is not that simple. That's part of what I would be teaching you with my information, is how to target those individuals, which is not really brain surgery. You're just going to pick up the phone and just call a broker. You know, there's a way to do it. You're going to call property manager owners. There are a couple of websites that you can reverse market to, that the properties are off market, because the first thing, I should have said this in the beginning of the video, whenever you're targeting multifamily, commercial, or any form of real estate, whether it's residential, I'm a big believer in it being off market. And my definition of off market simply means that it's not currently being advertised anywhere online for sale. Not saying you can't do deals that way, but it makes it a lot more difficult than when you control from beginning to the end where and when the property is being advertised, and everything has to funnel through you. Changes everything. Takes a lot of frustration out of the business here. The other thing that's going to be a hurdle, which I'll teach you how to get past that, $10 earnest money deposit is not going to work on these deals. A lot of times you're spending 10, 20, or 50 grand may be needed to lock up a property. You know, you got a $2 million property, 20 grand would be a sneeze as far as the earnest money. But that's part of what I would be teaching you if you signed up with my information on how to get around that, or how to maneuver that where you can still lock up a property and put it under contract. The other thing that's going to be different, and I mentioned it earlier in this video, is that whereas with houses, you can literally put a house under contract and you can close it in a week. You know, I've done it. You know, that can happen. Not likely with apartments. It's just a due diligence process that, and the larger the apartment complex, the more it costs, probably the longer it's going to take to close. Now, and also sometimes the lender will be involved, so there's just a different process. So it's not as quick as houses, but again, the paydays are so much larger, it'll be worse. So you have to have a streamline or a compound with this deal closed this month, this deal closed this month. The same thing with houses, but you just have to have a few of them because the paydays will be much larger. But those are some of the cons, as far as reaching owners. $10 earnest money is not going to work. It's longer time frame to close deals. But at the end of the day, again, the reason I'm really doing this video is to encourage you. You don't have to get the information to me, but as far as how to evaluate the properties and everything needs to go along with that, because that's a huge part of it, knowing what's a deal and what's not a deal. Same thing with houses. It's just that you have to go about it different, but because they're just analyzing and evaluating different versus multifamily versus single family property. So this is encouraged to get in the game. One deal. First, houses can make a living, but one deal can change your financial situation till they put you in the ground. So again, you don't have to get it from me, but obviously I offer the information. You can get it at junkers101.com on how to wholesale apartments. Obviously you'll get the wholesaling houses also. I'm not telling you not to wholesale houses, but why not flip a wholesale apartments too? So you see howtofliphouses.net. That'll get you access to all the videos on my YouTube channel. And don't forget junkers101.com. You can call or text me at 205-492-3425. This is the Flip Man, and I hope this video helped.